Hi everyone, Veronica. Welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be all about BookCon 2020 and Book Expo. This year, instead of it being live in New York at the Javits Center, they actually had it online over on Facebook, on their Facebook pages. I did participate. This was my very first time participating in it. I did get to take part in some of the panels. I asked a few questions of the different authors. And I actually have a list of all the panels that I wanted to take part in for the 2 days for BookCon. So if you want to hear about my very first BookCon experience and also the giveaways that I've won, then keep watching. So for my very first BookCon, I was surprised, definitely. Interested in a lot of the different topics that were being offered that we could participate in. A few of the authors I had heard of, like Cassandra Clare, Holly Black, Victoria Aveyard, Jennifer Niven, but there were also a good bit of the authors that I had never heard of, whether they are new authors or more established authors that I've just never come across their books before. But I wanted to participate in BookCon this year because I actually have been watching a fellow booktuber, Emma Books. She actually goes to BookCon every year, as well as a few other booktubers I follow. And it always seemed really interesting how you get to go to the Javits Center and you get to walk around the show floor and meet the different authors, you get to get the book signed by them, and you get to have a little bit of a conversation with them about their book or about their writing that you liked. And also you get to pick up the advanced reader copies, also known as ARCs, at the event. And there's also panels where the authors are there at the table or up on the stage talking to you guys about their books or about their writing style. And also sometimes they will let you know what their future projects are, if they're able to talk about them, or books that they've just written that are going through the publication process. And this year, the main panel I was really excited to participate in was the Cassandra Clare and Holly Black panel. It was actually just the two of them just chit-chatting. They are friends and they are co-collaborators on different projects. But it was really interesting to get to watch them discuss their favorite characters they've written and their favorite storylines they've written in the past or are currently working on. But from the list that I had of BookCon, the ones I actually participated in on Saturday, May 30th was Tor Presents Chaos and Cosmos featuring V.E. Schwab. That was interesting. I've heard of the books by this author. I don't have any of them, but I am interested in looking into it and seeing if I can find a book written by this author that I would like to read. I know many of you do read books, but one panel that I was very disappointed with was Stuff You Should Know, Answers to All the Questions You Didn't Know You Wanted to Ask. I thought it was going to be more along the lines of like for booktubers, because that's the way I caught one of the adverts for that panel, and that's how it was pretty much worded, and I was really disappointed. It was not that at all. It had nothing to do with BookTube or Bookstagrammers. It was actually for people who do podcasts, and I did mention something in it about, the way it was advertised. It was advertised for booktubers, so it was very misleading. But out of all the panels that I did participate in, that was the only one I was disappointed in. The next panel that I participated in was Epic YA, featuring Victoria Aveyard and Marissa Meyer. Now, for those of you who don't know, Victoria Aveyard wrote the Red Queen series, and Marissa Meyer has written many books, mainly the Lunar Chronicles, and there are some other books that she has written as well, but I do want to get into Lunar Chronicles. I have heard a lot of good things about that series. I love the designs of the dust jackets. They are really intriguing, and the characters seem to be very appealing and something I would really want to get into reading. As in my other video, I talked about Red Queen and the saga of that, and I definitely want to get a hold of those books, the rest of them, to finish off the series. I'm now hooked, having listened to the audio version of it. I'm definitely hooked into the world that Victoria created with Mare Barrow and her adventures. The next one that I participated in was The Magic of World Building, featuring Ransom Riggs. Ransom Riggs is the author of the Miss Peregrine books. I have read Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and I actually have the second book, which is called Hollow City, and that's actually in my summer reads TBR. That video will be filmed in a little while after I film another one. After this one, I should say, sorry. His panel was interesting. He did talk about how he came up with the different ideas, how the Miss Peregrine books come together, where he gets, the ideas for each character from the different photographs that he has or has come across in his writings. And with the Miss Peregrine series, it's about special kids who are different, and there really isn't a place for them in the real world, so there is this protective world, their loop, and it's the one place where each of the kids are different, and they all get along, and they all feel safe in that little loop. And it was really interesting. I really do like his style, and I do want to get a hold of the other books for the Miss Peregrine series. He did, I think there are 5 out right now, and he did say that definitely the 6th book will be coming out. I wasn't sure when, but the 6th book will be coming out, and there might be a few more after that. He's not sure yet how he wants to finish off the series or when. The last panel that I participated in on May 30th was actually Witches, Ghosts, and Vampires Oh My, Bringing Back Paranormal, and that was Holly Black's panel. And I have not read any of her books yet. I do want to get a hold of Wicked King and Cruel Prince and Queen of Nothing and her other fairy or fae books. I do know that she is also the author of the Spiderwick Chronicles, and I've heard a lot of good things about the Wicked King and the Cruel Prince series of books. Spiderwick, not so much. I know they're more middle grade, but if I find the first book of that from the library, I would probably give it a try. But I definitely do like the idea that she came up with the mythical creatures of the fairies and the fairy world it's always seemed interesting to me, at least, that there is a place where all of the fairy tale creatures can coexist. And I've looked at the designs for the dust jackets. I have seen them in the store. I just haven't been able to get a hold of them yet. But they are on my very large to purchase list that I have in my reading bullet journal. It's like, I think I'm up to over 280 books on my wish list right now. So that's a lot of books I want to get and not a lot of shelf space. But that is a very common issue with a lot of people who love to read, and a lot of booktubers and bookstagrammers. They have a huge list of books they want to get a hold of and not enough space to hold the books. So, but as for the first day of BookCon, I was thrilled with the experience. Like I said, I only had one big experience with it, but the rest of it I really enjoyed, and I'm glad that the Facebook group page, which I will put the link to down below in the description box, that you can actually go back and watch the videos from BookCon again at your leisure versus watching it live and trying to stay on, and you're trying to do other things. This way you can at least pause the video and take care of whatever you have to take care of at home. Day 2 of BookCon was actually Sunday, May 31st, and I only participated in 4 panels that day. The first one was Books to Screen featuring Jennifer Niven. She is the author of All the Right Places, and I did enjoy her panel. She was on there along with 2 other authors, I believe. I can't remember their names. But her panel was interesting. She not only obviously wrote the book, she was also on set and involved in the casting process for her film. She also co-wrote the screenplay, so she had complete control over her characters. That way no one else could change what she wrote or what she wanted to happen. Yes, some things had to be left out, obviously. They only have so much of a time frame for the film for television to showcase all of her book. You don't have time to film a 4 or 5 hour movie for it to get all the details from the book. But she did reveal that she is working on another project with a fellow author, and she couldn't talk about it at the time, which is understandable. They have legal ramifications if they discuss things before they're allowed to. But she did say that she would like to do more script writing for screenplays. She did go to school for that. She majored in that. So it would be interesting to see what other books of hers that she would like to adapt for the screen. Book Expo actually took place I only participated in one day, and it was May 29th. And there were 2 panels for it that I checked in on. The first one was book club titles for fall and winter 2020. I really didn't find that too interesting. Maybe it was just because of the types of books that were being released. I didn't even get a chance to write them down. They were actually talking about it that quickly in the panel that there wasn't enough time for me to write them down. And then the second panel was New Graphic Novel Showcase. That one was different. I've never read a graphic novel. For those of you who don't know, a graphic novel is another term for a comic book. But it's a neat way of telling the story. I have seen in stores graphic novel versions of Cassandra Clare's Immortal Instruments. At least the first two books I have definitely seen in the stores. But I wouldn't be, well, I should say, I would be open to reading a graphic novel if I found one that struck my fancy and I really liked the story, be it the summary or the the art, the artistry of it. I do like most stories that are, or that could be adapted into a graphic novel. There are a few out there that I would be curious to see be adapted, that maybe haven't been yet. But as far as Book Expo, I really wasn't 100% thrilled overall with it like I was with BookCon. Now, next year, hopefully, they will be able to actually have BookCon be live again at the Javits Center in New York. If they do, and if I'm able to, crossing my fingers, I can go to it live. I definitely would. And not just for the ARCs, but also to be able to possibly have meet and greets with other authors. Definitely to meet fellow booktubers. I know a lot of the ones I follow, Haley and Bookland, and of course Emma Books is there, and a few of the other booktubers. I know Natalie, you guys may know her as One Sleepy Reader. She has also gone to BookCon, and I would love to meet them all and meet them face to face, as well as, like I said, seeing some of the authors that are there. Maybe even be able, if I'm lucky enough to have a book signed by one of the authors, that would be fantastic. But it's also a great way to get to meet other people from the book community, whether it's fellow bookstagrammers or booktubers. And also you also get to see with the different publishing companies that also have their booths there, what books they have coming out within the coming year, to see, okay, that book catches my eye, or, would I like this one? Maybe not, but I might know someone who would, so I could talk about on the channel. Things like that. And it is an exciting experience. It is usually 2 to 3 day event. But if I'm able to go, I will definitely vlog it, because I won't want to forget that experience. But that was that experience with BookCon. I did enter in the BookCon giveaways. There were actually 25 books that I was interested in, and I actually received the email that I actually got 3 of them. I actually won 3 of the ARC giveaways. One of them is Charming as a Verb by Ben Felipe. And this actually came in the mail the other day. And this actually comes out in September of 2020. This is about Henry Haltwagner. Can charm just about anyone. He is a star debater and popular student at the prestigious Fate Academy, the dutiful first-generation Haitian son, and the trusted dog walker for his wealthy New York City neighbors. But his easy smiles mask a burning ambition to attend his dream college, Columbia University. There is only one person who seems immune to Henry's charms, his intense classmate and neighbor, Corinne Troy. When she uncovers Henry's less than honest dog-walking scheme, she blackmails him into helping her change her image at school. Henry agrees, seeing a potential upside for himself. Soon what started as a mutual hustle turns into something more surprising than either of them ever bargained for. It is a romantic comedy, and the 2 main characters are African American, and I've never read romantic comedy books before, but I am interested in reading this, and I will definitely give you guys my thoughts on it. It seems to be an easy read. I mean, the chapters are broken down pretty well. As for the storylines, they're not really like long and lengthy chapters, but they're not like super short. It's just like the right amount of information like for each chapter to get to read them. So it'll probably be a fast read for me. But this was the first arc that I did receive. I'm still waiting for the other two to arrive. One is Sky Hunter by Marie Lu, and the last book is Shine by Jessica Jung. When I do get those books in, I will do another video, book haul video, specifically for those two, that I'll be able to tell you guys about them. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to write down the information, the summary about those books prior to filming, but I will definitely film another video for you guys just for those two when they do arrive. So until next time, happy reading and stay safe.